Through a raging sandstorm, a man rides. In the cliff ahead, a cleft. Maybe I can hide there. What luck! A path through the rock. The posse'll never find me in here. They'll have to get someone else to hang. And so cheats the gallows of another prize. Or is it merely death protecting one of its own? For this man, Chico Sanchez, is a killer and a wanderer who at last found sanctuary in the Valley of Death. I lost my bearings in that storm. I could be anywhere. But I've never run into anything a stick of dynamite, the blade of a knife, or a well-placed bullet couldn't handle. Except the heat of this forsaken desert. If I don't find water soon, I'll end up like that. Suddenly, vultures! They're attacking me! Spooking my horse! What is this? The horse rears, but the instincts of a trained killer take over. They're dead! But why would vultures attack me? Why? Come on, Red Eye, we're getting out of here. And fast. Spurring his horse savagely, Chico rides on. Finally, as night falls on the desert, a campfire. Should be someone there, good for directions and water. Maybe even a little gold if I'm lucky. Tell me, stranger, what land is this where vultures would attack the living? Oh, you're not friendly, eh? Perhaps a bullet will loosen your... But Chico never finishes his threat. Madre Dios! A Specter! First vultures, then these? I must get out of this accursed place! Chico rides through the night, and as the scorching heat of another desert day floods the wasteland... A graveyard! At last, I must be approaching a town. There it is! This nightmare is finally over. It seems I've cheated death once again. A few days rest, and I'll be on my way. Right now, I feel like celebrating. But the brooding stillness of the eerie town triggers a feeling of uneasiness in Chico's mind. A feeling of danger. There's something not right here. It's too quiet. Well, I could use a drink and maybe I'll find some answers in here. Even the eyes of a hardened killer are not prepared for the sight that greets them. Dead! Everyone's dead! They've been dead for years! Suddenly, a shriveled hand moves, clenches into a threatening claw, and a horde of moldering corpses rise from their seats and advance upon Chico. The dynamite is my only chance! A match is lit, a fuse sputters into flame, and a blast rips through the saloon and hurls Chico into the street. For long moments he lies stunned, unable to move, gasping for breath as the acrid smoke drifts past him. As the smoke clears, a shadowy figure appears, a figure cloaked in an aura of menace. The figure of death. From his glowing visage come whispered words of greeting. Welcome, Chico Sanchez. You have trespassed upon my domain and disturbed my subjects. By any right, I should claim you now. But let it not be said that death is not without mercy. You shall have your chance. Stand and face death. Chico responds slowly, as if still stunned. I cannot stand up. The explosion must have... Even as he secretly draws a hidden gun and whirls to fire. 6 bullets rip through the death before he can draw his weapon. You thought you had me, eh? But I won. I cheated there for the last time. I've beaten you. Hysterical laughter rings out and echoes through the empty streets as a strange and ghastly transformation occurs. And in the stillness of a forgotten ghost town, Chico Sanchez, the man who thought he had won the ultimate victory, found that he who truly defeats death becomes death.
A cool night, a hot temper, and a ready gun. A common scene any night, any town USA. Or is it? Come watch with us as a desperate man searches for an escape route. That's right. Suspect is a male, Caucasian, 5 feet 10 inches, 180 pounds, last seen proceeding west on foot near the corner of 10th and Bradley. We have the area surrounded. Come on, Jim. I think I saw him run down this way. Man, this place is crawling with cops. But if they get me, I'll be in prison till I rot for icing that guy. Ugh, I would pick a blind alley. But if I bust into this old high-rise, I might lose him in there. Guess I got no choice. These babies are no good. If I went up, they'd really have me trapped. Looks like I'm stuck in here now. Unless... Wait a minute. The basement. Yeah, that's it. Some of these old places got sub-basements with connections to the sewers. Maybe I'll beat it yet. Or am I just running like a scared rabbit down in a hole? It's my only chance. I got to find a sewer lead, or the boys in blues got me. Plenty of places to hide. But that don't do me no good. They find me sooner or later. It's got to be down here somewhere. Somewhere. Gotta be. Hey! Who's this old man? Hey, old man, wake up. What are you doing down here? That door, that's got to be it. Who, me? Me, I'm just doing my job, young fella. If I had a bullet left, I'd waste them. Look, old man, I gotta get through that door. No, sonny, you don't want to use this door. That's for sure. No, sorry. Look, you old geezer. I don't want to hurt you, but there's about 1 million cops upstairs looking for me, and that door's my only chance. No, you don't want to. I can't let you. Oh, man, if you don't move, I'm gonna kill you, understand? Well, what is this anyway? Who are you? What are you down here for? Alright, if it'll stop you, I'll tell you. This here door is the gateway to hell itself, and I've been sent here to guard it. I ain't moved from here in almost 2,000 years. But I can't let nobody get through that door, not for nothing. Long as I set up against that door, things are alright. Now you see why I can't? Bull! I don't know what your act is, Pops, or why you gave me that line, but I'm going. I got life or war staring me in the face if I don't get through that door. Besides, even if it was true, why would you need a guard? Who would want to get into hell? Oh no, sonny, I never said I was here to keep folks from getting into hell, but from getting out. In all the People's Republic, no one was more tyrannical, more pitiless than Jan Rassic, until he came face to face with the savage thing they called the Specter of the Iron Duchess.
Jan, my beloved, you came back to me. I knew we were meant for each other.
Minister of Transport Jan Rasek was known throughout the country as a harsh taskmaster, a man of towering rages. This is the 6th truck wrecked and looted on this mountain road. It's sabotage. Somebody will be shot for this. But comrade, mister, no mortal being is to blame. There's a curse on this road. They say that centuries ago, an evil Duchess lived in this deserted castle. She robbed every passing caravan. To this day, her ghost takes a toll from the traffic that goes by. Bah! An idiotic tale. I say someone is hijacking our trucks and hiding that stolen cargo in that old stone pile. But comrade, we have searched the castle time and again. There's no trace of the vanished truck drivers or the cargo. I still say enemies of the state are responsible. I will investigate this personally. It was later in the library of the local village that Rasek found a puzzling clue. This old history does mention a robber noblewoman, a ruthless she-devil called the Iron Duchess. It says her armor-clad ghost will haunt that road as long as the castle stands, stone on stone. I have it! The saboteurs are using that ridiculous ghost story as cover for their raids on my transport trucks. But they underestimate Jan Rasek. I have a surprise for them. 2 nights later, a truck rumbled up the dark mountain road. I learned how to handle situations like this when I worked in the underground during the war against the Nazis. Let us see if those saboteurs can pirate a truck away from me. Then, in the dead of night, he knew the icy chill of death. Ghostly hands gripping the wheel, trying to take it from me. It's the Iron Duchess! But even in the midst of his fear, Rasek fought back. No, ghost demon, creature of hell, no one will take the wheel from Jan Rasek. And then, weirdly, abruptly, the struggle ended. I'm winning! She's starting to vanish! Another moment and she'll be gone! Then there is a ghost, but I have beaten her. I have defeated the Iron Duchess. But what of the drivers who will follow after me? Without an iron will like mine, how can they resist the power of the ghastly phantom? No, there is only one way to eliminate the Specter permanently. Short days later, at a meeting of the National Council, and according to the legend, the Iron Duchess will prey on her victims as long as her castle stands. Ridiculous, comrade. Rasek uses this story as a deadly phantom to hide his failures as the Minister of Transport. Rasek has outlived his usefulness. He should be replaced. Even if his story were true, how could we admit to the world that we, the Council, believe in ghosts? But there was one friendly voice. Rasek, we, the old peasant stock, know how many of these old legends are true. But you'll better act quickly or your enemies will throw you off the council. Yes, my career hangs in the balance. Either I destroy the curse of the Iron Duchess or she destroys me. 2 nights later, on the mist-shrouded mountain road, the truck can hardly make it up the grade. It's so overloaded. But this is one cargo that will reach its destination. There it is. The lair of that phantom Hellcat. What would happen if she suddenly appeared? But Rasek does not fear the Iron Duchess. I am bringing her a gift. Yes, once I start the motor again, this load of high explosives will be headed right to her castle. This delayed action fuse will give me a chance to get off the truck in time. Suddenly, fearfully, the truck, it's moving, but who started the motor? And as the mindless terror gripped him, the Iron Duchess! I knew you would return. Like me, you are hard, ruthless, a man who must win. We make a splendid pair. It was then that he realized her satanic purpose. She's steering off the road to go off the cliff. No, after all my work, all my planning, I've got to get the truck back on target. His iron will was his only weapon, yet he defied the powers of hell itself. Fool, you can't win. No one defeats Rassic. Your castle must be destroyed, even if it costs me my... It was days later that a truck convoy waited on that mountain road. What's holding things up? What are we waiting for? They told us this road was safe. I understand they're holding some kind of ceremony up ahead. Now her castle is destroyed, comrades. The Iron Duchess harmed no one. The road is safe. Let the first vehicle pass. Yes, by macabre irony, the first vehicle to make the journey in safety was the hearse that bore the remains of Jan Rassic. But then, had not Rassic already paid the toll demanded of all who passed the portals of a ghost castle?
The end.
The Pit of Fear. You couldn't really blame Satan for being disgusted. After all, what could you do in Hades when business got bad? Things were really going to pot down in the old pit. The imps were getting out of hand, and nothing was being done right. It got so that when a customer came down for a going-over, not one of them would make a move to work on him. They were all getting smug and lazy. Here comes another one. Let him go. It's too hot to work today. And the whole thing made old Nick so hoppin' mad that he just couldn't figure out what to do about it. He was ready to blow his top. This can't go on. I've got to find a way to get these boys back on their toes. It wasn't just the lethargy that made him sore, but the way they wasted their time playing poker and shamelessly getting drunk, while others just loafed reading to pass the time away. But finally, Satan could stand it no longer. He decided to put his cloven hoof down. By George, that does it! I'm getting sick and tired of the shoddy inefficiency around this place. You bums have goofed off for the last time. Things are going to change. I'm going to clean this dump up. I'm bringing down an efficiency expert from Earth to straighten things out. I'll give him enough power to whip you goons into line. It was 4 days later when Satan arrived back in Hades, but he wasn't alone. He brought with him a certain Mr. Frost, efficiency expert. And I warn you all, I've given Mr. Frost unlimited powers to clean up the corruption in this place. He has the best references for being the meanest expert on Earth. Just when things were getting nice and comfortable. I wish I could quit this job. You better not get tough with me. I'm giving Mr. Frost a big reward for putting this place back in shape, and I've told him not to be afraid of putting you all through the wax. In the days that followed, the imps learned that Mr. Frost was no joke. First went the card games. There'll be no more gambling in Hades. And then the sessions of wild drunkenness. And no more drinking. Get back to the pets. From now on, things are going to be different around here. I'll make it so hot for all of you that you'll work or you'll wish you were somewhere else. And then came the long, grueling hours of drilling and formation. There'll be 5 hours of drilling every day.
The dirty rat! I hate him! I'd love to get my hands on him alone! I heard that. And I see your trading is rusty. Hasn't been cleaned. You will be doing 10 hours of extra work this weekend.
Of course, the whole system of punishment and torture had to be reinstated, and Mr. Frost was just the man to do it.
Go on, faster, faster! Get those tortures set up! You've been loafing long enough!
The final chore was the lighting of the sulfur pits, which belched unearthly smoke.
Move, you imps of Satan! Get the lead out of your feet! This place will look like Hades before I'm through.
And it did. And when it was all over, Mr. Frost went to Satan to claim the wealth that had been promised him for the job.
All right, old Nick, the job is done. The place is now more efficient than it ever was. I want my reward.
Yes, you've done a great piece of work. The poor souls who will be sent down here from now on will really suffer. Here's your reward, Frost, just as I promised you. You've made this place a real Hades.
I did my very best, Satan. Well, I better be getting back upstairs now. I've got an efficiency job to do in Hollywood.
Oh, I wouldn't bother going back up there if I were you.
Well, what do you mean? I don't understand.
Why, it is just that you've always been such a mean, hard man up on Earth, and so many people have hated you.
Yeah, I know. What has that got to do with it?
Well, you see, Frost, as I knew when I brought you down here, you've only got about 3 minutes left to live on Earth. And so, you're going to be our very first customer. The end.